Welcome to episode 192 of Technical File, the sports podcast you never knew you needed.
And it's your boy TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ask Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. How are y'all this week? I'm feeling good. Let's go. Let's roll.
I'm the RJ.
Only known as
The RJ.
And I'm Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life Tifa Lockhart, the girl next door. You know, holding it down for all the women who love sports.
And it's your boy K Harris, the gentleman,
The
everyday gentleman,
24/7.
but better known as K Diddy.
Take that.
All right. So you can hit us on our social medias. That's at Technical File, TECK, on Instagram and the Twitter. Also, you can go onto our website, www.technicalfile.com. Don't forget to put the K on that motherfucker.
You damn right.
We are also on Facebook, Technical File Podcast, which also has a Facebook group, Technical File Pod Overtime, where you can join in with the listeners, fans, and the fam. But last but not least, but do not forget, we are also on the YouTube. You can check out our beautiful faces every week. Technical File Podcast.
Like I say every week, man, if you guys enjoy being a part of this amazing Tech File fam, I'm sure every one of you know. Your mother, your daddy, your brother, anybody, baby mama, baby daddy, wherever you're listening right now, share it. Takes less than 30 seconds and we don't grow without y'all. So let the fam grow.
For sure. Do we got a challenge this week?
As always, the running challenge, make sure y'all screenshot y'all downloading the Good News Radio app. So do that right now. That's the only challenge that I have, unless you guys have something else.
That worked for me.
No, keep them focused.
Singular target.
But wherever you find podcasts, you can find us. That includes Apple Podcasts,
Yes, sir.
Google Play, Stitcher,
We there.
SoundCloud,
We are there.
Spotify,
We there too.
Pandora,
We're good.
Pandora, we are there.
Amazon Music.
Amazon Music.
Man, Amazon. Yep. Go ahead, check us out.
iHeartRadio,
iHeartRadio, we there too.
Himalaya,
Like a player. Why you so country, Ken?
Wooshka,
Wooska.
and the aforementioned Good News app.
We there.
Good
We
news.
there.
Every Tuesday.
Good News Radio, we there.
Tune in on the Good News. Check out the show live, 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time. That's 4 to 6 if you I said Pacific. They used to mess me up as a kid. I used to hate saying Pacific.
I had somebody say Pacific to me when they meant specific yesterday, so it goes both ways.
It does. You may catch a player slipping.
Hey, it happened from time to time. But yes, make sure y'all download the app. Check us out. You can also go listen online. Just check out the Good News, man. We there live. You can hit the chat box and be part of the show too. So come on. What you waiting for?
Bring your ass.
And wherever you're listening to this episode right now, while there, make sure that you like, subscribe, rate, review. 5 stars or better. It helps us and we appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All of that. Now, let's shout out our top listening cities from the past week and those international listeners. So, number 1, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We appreciate y'all. The home.
Welcome.
All right, we got some new cities on the list this week. Number 2,
Okay.
Orrington, Maine.
Okay.
Orrington, Maine.
East Coast.
I didn't even know. I was like, what is ME? I was like, I ain't seen this up on you before. Oh, yeah, that's Maine. That's Maine. Number 3, we got New York.
New York, what's going on? New York City. Them city slickers.
Like in life. New York City 1, New York City 2. Come on. Number 4, we got St. Louis, Missouri.
St. Louis, what's going on? Another city that I love. I love St. Louis.
I gotta be there soon. Shout out to my granddad. He just turned 75.
Shout out, granddad.
Shout out. He
Shout
out here.
out.
Yeah, man. And he's still moving and grooving like he's like 40, dog.
A young whippersnapper. He out here.
Must run in the family, Tim.
Yeah, I told him that. I was like, maybe I age gracefully like you, bro. I'm cool with that.
I mean, how old do people generally think you are when they see you?
If I got, it depends on how much hair I got, honestly. But
That's fair.
Like with my hair now, I get 25, 26.
Yeah.
And 32 easy money.
I knew I was
33 this year.
Yeah,
so,
I knew I was old when cats started. I went to the gas station. Dude was like, "Oh, hey, Unc." I'm like, "God damn." I'm like, "I'm old as motherfucker now."
What's good, old head?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good. Old school. I'm like, old school, nigga. What?
Yeah, we getting there. We getting close.
Yeah. Wait. Speaking of old school, shout out to the Podfather. Happy birthday, dude.
Happy birthday, brother. Oh yeah.
Talking birthday.
Hey, speaking about old, that nigga.
The real OG.
He's the Dr. Dre.
He the OG for real though.
Man, for real. Number 5, we got Boiling Brook, Illinois.
Boiling
Brook. What up?
Y'all been coming back lately? Welcome back.
Number 6. Let me make sure I'm reading this right. Tomball, Texas.
Texas.
I can tell you what first thing came to my mind. But Tom Ball, what's going on? Welcome.
Tom Ball.
Oh, Tom Ball. My bad.
What?
Tom Ball. What's going on?
Yeah, I think that's Jimmy Butler hometown. I think.
Oh, for real?
Oh, that's part of the Houston metropolitan area. Okay.
Right. Yep. He went to Tom Ball High School in Tom Ball, Texas.
That's wild. Tom Ball, Texas. That's some.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know. Like, maybe it's because like I've never heard of Tom Ball before, so like it stuck out.
Number 7, we got Ashburn, Virginia.
Ashburn, Virginia. Welcome.
Number 8, we got Kenosha, Wisconsin.
K-Town, welcome. Welcome back as always.
Hello, neighbor.
Number 9, we got New Berlin. He's been getting K-Town off, so you're going to let K-Town stay?
Ain't nobody said nothing to his ass about K-Town.
Y'all tried a few times.
The person from Kenosha, what do y'all call yourself?
Who's y'all?
Tell me what y'all nickname is. Tell me what the nickname is.
K-Town.
K-Town.
I was going to say something real out of pocket so we can move on.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, number 9, we got New Berlin, Wisconsin.
Hello,
New
neighbor.
Berlin, what's going on?
And then number 10, we got Seattle, Washington.
Seattle, welcome back.
That's like that's the most random city that I really want to get to. Like, I don't know why, but
I'm the same. I
was supposed to be in Seattle before the pandemic hit. I had a whole conference. I had a whole thing planned. My roommate was out there from college, and we was going to meet up. Like, another roommate was going to drive up, and we was going to have like a nice time before the conference started. And then COVID hit, and I was like, everything got canceled.
When was the conference supposed to be?
March 20th.
Damn.
Somewhere in there. Like, it was
right.
Yeah, and it was funny because leading up to it, I kept going like, should I I don't know what to do. And then everything just shut down. I was like, well, I got my answer. So
yeah. I stopped over in Washington. We were supposed to be over in Hawaii when I came back from Guam.
It was a stop in between?
No, we were supposed to stop over at Hawaii in between. That was our connecting flight, so to speak. We spent the night over there on the way there, and it was 2 hurricanes hitting Hawaii back to back. So instead of going to Hawaii, we had to fly over to Washington. I believe I'm almost sure we was in Seattle. I'm pretty sure. But
he was nowhere near Seattle with shit.
He was in Washington, D.C.
Exactly. He's like wrong Washington. My bad.
It's 2 bases that's there, and we stopped over there, and I was kind of pissed about that. But I was like, man, I'm praying for the folks in Hawaii, but I really wanted to be there.
Hey, Hawaii
in a hurricane, you would have been in a hurricane.
It was beautiful. I've been in there.
This man started
enjoying my time. Spending like a motherfucker.
You are ignorant.
You ain't Aquaman, nigga. Chill out. You think he Aquaman and shit?
Been in that cyclone, enjoying myself.
International listeners, we had 4 other countries tuning in outside of the U.S. We had Italy.
Welcome. Oh, I'm gonna send y'all this emoji. They just added to. Keep going.
Belgium.
It makes sense in a second.
Belgium, trusty old Belgium. Welcome back.
We had I
don't know why that's so funny.
Because it makes sense.
You wild for this. Is it Moldova? Is that how you pronounce the country?
Moldova. Welcome,
y'all. And then y'all, Spain.
Welcome back. Where you been?
Y'all made it back.
Spain, where you been at?
Spain,
welcome back.
I know what that is. Belgium was just hopping between countries. They're trying to throw us off the scent.
Welcome back, Spain. We missed
Welcome
you.
back.
Welcome back.
I've been
Hey, you know
wondering
what?
that
That's
is
a cold beat
listening.
to freestyle too. That is a cold beat to
That
freestyle
welcome
too.
back beat.
Yes.
All right.
I was in the
You
car
got
the
a
other day. I was
freestyle
like,
ready next
bruh.
You got a freestyle ready next week?
Cue it
No,
up,
I'm
dude.
not. No, I'm not.
Hey, you got to be ready. You said
Hey, don't be bringing no
That's
freestyle
in my
beats
free-
if you ain't
that's
trying
in
to
my free
freestyle.
exactly.
time.
If you ain't gonna spit stuff.
Only people that hear me spit regularly is my kids and my wife.
I bet they do
The
the
bar
show.
been closed. They ain't had no drunk Tim over no beats. That's why ain't nobody else been hearing you rap. Sport fact of the week. What we got?
It's the best I can do. So bear with me. March 26, 1973, UCLA defeats Memphis 87-66 to win the the NCAA basketball championship. It's the 7th straight championship win for Coach John Wooden and the Bruins, and the 9th in the last 10 years. The Bruins hold 61-55 edge with 9:27 remaining when junior center Bill Walton picks up his 4th foul. Wooden leads Walton in the game and is rewarded when he scores a championship game record 44 points with an astonishing 21 field goals on 22 attempts. The contest is the first tournament final to be televised nationally on a Monday night, a practice that will continue to this day.
He was balling.
The first. What year was that?
1973.
And that was the first. Okay.
That's
It was the first time it was televised on a Monday night, so I don't know what day of the week it used to be.
And they currently balling right now too in the tournament.
UCLA.
Mm-hmm. And the Sweet 16.
Well, you know what? Let's not even hold up the show. Let's get into the topics of the week because we're gonna start right there with that March Madness because my bracket, woo boy. All right, so March Madness has been mad for sure.
Man.
How are y'all brackets looking? How y'all doing?
Yeah, I had Illinois with it all, so y'all know how my bracket is.
Ditto.
You and Eric. That's why I was like,
I'm at 81%.
81%.
81? That's not bad. Snow was at like 90 something.
Nigga, I'm at 33, fam. 33, my man. I'm doing better in my women's bracket, but the men's bracket.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, women's bracket. I'm doing
33%.
good.
33. But
Yeah,
I got
man.
three or four of my final 4 teams are still in it. So
Okay.
Oklahoma
Mine too,
State.
except for
Come
the
on,
one
man.
that counts. Cool.
Oklahoma State
Oklahoma
let me
State,
down,
oh.
man. I had
tried
a
to
lot
tell
of
you.
faith in Cade.
Ooh,
They didn't give him the
those-
ball.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
one
they
K
did.
ball.
No, at the end of the game, I was sitting there like, just get the ball back to Cade. Get the ball back to Cade. And they
There
sitting
were
there
a
taking
couple
these
passes he could have made.
them
There
little
were a couple.
layups and man.
He had some teammates a couple of times. I'm like, bro, just real quick to the left. Nope. All right. Like real quick.
Oh,
Oh,
not even
corner.
that bad.
Nope. You going up with that one? Okay. So
They
there
just
was
went
there
right
were
on-
some
right
times
on
I was like, he's taking some questionable shots, but I mean, he tried because they was missing wide open layups. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, they was missing some.
I was like, college basketball is like the most exciting bad basketball ever, bro.
It is
Like-
such bad baskball.
So many missed layups, so many threes. You're like, why did you shoot that? Your guy was wide open next. He's like watching 2K in the rack. Like, bro, like what is these shots that are going up sometimes? But the defense, when some teams are locked in, it is beautiful. Like good, like I like Oral Roberts have been worth the watch. Like they were the first game that I watched. So them beating Ohio State because I wanted to just see who was gonna get knocked out by the Big Ten, which they did shitty, by the way. Absolutely garbage. The Big Ten was getting if Michigan lost, I wouldn't have been surprised. I was like, all the Big Ten would have been out because y'all motherfuckers just can't show up nowhere. Like, damn. They be getting smacked. I mean, Wisconsin beat North Carolina,
which I
is
had.
great. That was a good
I knew they would win the first round, and then I had them out in the second round.
Yeah, me too, because they got stomped.
They weren't going to beat Baylor. Like I knew that off top. Like, no. Not happening.
Baylor stomped them. I mean, they tied them in the second half, but that first half was
man.
So, say la vie. I still got Gonzaga though as my title.
Same. We both had Gonzaga, so we still got some hope of some victory. But like I said, 30% on my bracket is.
I'm at 72%, so it's not that bad.
You just ain't got no national champion.
Yeah, I guess I'm national champion. So ain't too bad, I guess.
Yeah, I'm the worst of both worlds because I'm at 33% and I don't have a national champion. So
You just.
I also didn't watch a second of college basketball this season. So,
did you watch any of the tournament games?
I haven't watched a second of college basketball this season.
No, it was some good games, man. Like it really was some good games, and seeing certain college talent kind of missed seeing like, okay, I can see how I can transition to the next level or things like that. Like I can see what's the hype about certain players and why certain players are looked at a certain way. Like
who?
Ace Smith over at Oral Roberts. Like he's the number one leading scorer, but nobody really was talking about him going into the tournament.
You gonna make sure people are talking about him now.
And they was 15 seed, so now all of a sudden they're like, well, there's a reason he's the number one scorer in the nation. No, it ain't just the competition. Like he's putting these buckets on everybody, everybody. But him and O'Bannon been hooping too. I was like, I like that forward. Like he's nice.
Hey, like you can only play who's in front of you. And I think it was Ja who tweeted it. I could be wrong, but I believe Ja Morant tweeted like, as a mid-major, like you got up for playing like the big programs because you were sitting there like, they're not that much better than me. Like I know in my heart, like they're not that much better than me. And you get up for them games and you go.
It's been dope. Like the Oklahoma game was good. Oh, and the Oklahoma State game, like Cade.
Yeah. But the NCAA was in the news for other reasons outside of the tournament. The women's facilities just didn't look quite the same as the men's. Their weight room was some dumbbells and some yoga mats that they could sanitize, and then that was it. Like, these are collegiate athletes. Like, you really think that's all they do? Like, you know, like the schools that they coming from and what those weight rooms look like, and that's what y'all gonna give them? Like, come on now. And then the president, Mark Emmert, at first they had a statement like, we were wrong. But then he tried to walk that back some. And he was like, well, you know, the weight rooms that were shown on the videos, those were never intended to be the weight rooms. Like, those were exercise rooms before the kids went out into the corporate practice. But once the video's out there, then, like, it's out there. Marky Mark, listen, if that is the case, then where was the weight room? Where was the weight room then? The women also apparently had worse food quality, and then their swag bags, which were put together by the NCAA, weren't the same. How do you not just give them all the same swag bag? It's your product.
Yeah,
it's your product.
It's the same sponsors.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
That's stupid. But
that was wild how because it blew up on Twitter.
It blew up on TikTok first. And then she came to Twitter and said, I'm gonna post this here because we need some more eyes.
Oh, people are actually here.
Social media.
You see, they upgraded the facilities after that tweet blew up. And it's wild that it took that. And then, of course, you got all the assholes out there telling us, well, they don't bring in the money and the viewership. Like, bro, it's the same sponsors. Like, they're sponsoring NCAA tournaments. Like, and why is it not fair that they can lift weights just the same as the guys? They can have the same weight room. They can get the same equipment if they're playing. They can set up the exact same way. It don't matter how much money they're bringing in. It just didn't make sense. Like, you got all of these schools that's coming. You got D1 schools. The same men that's going over there is from the same colleges these women are coming from. Y'all telling me y'all didn't have enough money to really set the same shit up?
They had the money. It's just that women's
the
sports is the afterthought. That's all that is.
The resources. They could have been there because they had the shit set up for the men already.
Again, it wasn't about, you know, they didn't have the money to do it. They didn't care to. They didn't.
Exactly.
It wasn't a priority.
Exactly.
But yeah, to your point, Tim, like there are a bunch of mouth breathing neckbeards on the internet talking down about women's sports and how, you know, they don't bring in the same revenue or it's just, you know, it's not a good product and blah 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 blah. The main bitch ass nigga on Instagram was Nick Young, Swaggy P, aka Cheat on Iggy. He was in the comment, like, he don't have anything better to do, so he in the comments of like the Sports Center post talking about, man, y'all not bringing in the big bucks, y'all the JV team, and it's cool. Like, this is a pattern of like denigrating women's basketball for Nick Young. Like, he was talking years ago about how, you know, the WNBA needs to bring in Instagram models and then maybe somebody to actually watch. And, like, fuck you, Nick Young. Basically, like it was gonna be my blow to whistle, but it made more sense up here. So fuck that nigga.
I'm cool with that energy.
He on the fuck him list.
I thought you said something completely different.
Huh? What?
Nope. Same. What's next? You owe me one, nigga.
Yeah. I don't need too many. Goddamn. Thank you, sir. If I had a top hat, I'll tip it.
Hello.
Oh,
See, here we go.
Yeah, goddamn.
You owe me one. That's funny. NFL free agency. So it's ongoing. The wheel keeps spinning, so to speak. As we did last week, we are not going to read through all the different transactions that happened because that's boring. We're just going to talk about things that stood out to us, that piqued our interest, so on and so forth. So first thing I just want to say is that Ken's old quarterback, Trippy Mitchie, he done went to Buffalo. He said, you know what?
Man. Yep.
I'll be a backup. And I was like, you know what, Mitch?
He a good
I
backup.
like that for you.
He's a really good backup.
They might put him in some trick plays and have him running.
Like, he's a good backup.
He can run for sure.
And honestly, he's seen what they've done for Josh Allen. Like, obviously, that's a program that develops quarterbacks. So, like, I wouldn't mind going there for a 1-year deal. Work my way up. Maybe next year I can, parlay that into something more lucrative.
I wish him nothing but the best for real. For sure.
I mean, on top of that,
we invested it so much to get him,
and got nothing back.
It got nothing. No, but it's
no. You always have that Pro Bowl season.
He was a Pro Bowler.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
In quotation marks.
Huh?
Like five different quarterbacks declined to go. So.
Hey, but he was there.
And I mean, to be fair, the triple dunk, that wasn't Mitchie's fault. For the field goal.
The double dunk?
Or the double dunk.
Doink.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Y'all saying dunk. I'm like, which I thought. Yeah,
that wasn't Mitchie's fault.
No, it wasn't.
Still fuck him, but that wasn't his fault because he was on the Bears, bro.
I ain't never had no problem with Mitch. I was cheering for Mitch.
We always cheer for Mitch.
He was on our team.
I've appreciated him
being
the quarterback of the Chicago Bears.
Chill out, yo.
He was on our team, man. Ain't no beef with that. Not Howie Long. That's his daddy. Kyle Long went with the Chiefs. Speaking of
they started getting their line back.
They getting a new one. They just said,
I don't blame him. If I'm gonna come out of retirement, that's where I go to.
And they still got Duvernay there too.
He's probably watching during the Super Bowl, like, dang, like they really need some help for that investment.
Let me go ahead and get up out here.
Right, I think I could.
I ain't doing nothing else.
He hit his agent. Hey, I ain't gotta go back to Chicago. All right.
I am salty about that. I'm like, they're gonna come back to Chicago. No, nigga, psych.
He's a free agent. I mean, he's free.
Speaking of Chicago, what are they doing? Like releasing
losing talent,
cornerbacks? Like
I don't know what we're doing. I have, like I said, Ryan. I have no clue what Ryan Pace is doing. I'm gonna trust him in the draft that we gonna do what we need to do. I have no choice.
No other option but the trust.
Y'all should have just let us grab him when we tried to get him the first time. If y'all was gonna do this.
No, see, the thing with Kyle Fuller is that when everybody saw how the cap was looking and people started looking at other people's teams, like they might be a cap casualty. And Kyle Fuller was one that just kept getting brought up. Like he was going to get 14 M's and it was like,
shit.
They didn't have the money. So everybody was looking like they going to end up cutting him, and they cut him. And now he in Denver. So
they ain't have money, but they signed Red Rifle
to 10.
Like
gave him 10 of that.
And they losing talent.
Hey, listen.
Gave him 10 though.
Ain't Hakeem Hicks gone too, ain't he? Or he about to be gone, something like that.
Look, they was able to give Red Rifle the 10 because they got rid of his 14,
Again, is that the talent trade off that you want?
Nah.
Yeah,
that's the allocation.
They got Desmond Trufant. They picked him up, the Bears.
Did they sign him this offseason with the money?
Who?
They got y'all picked up Desmond Trufant.
So y'all cut y'all all-pro corner.
They got Desmond Trufant. That's
a cap casualty. One of your best players is a cap casualty.
This is what happens when you scramble and do shit, and then all of a sudden we don't have no money to do nothing.
We ain't have money either. But
Packers fans, like, pay attention to this. Like, you splurge in free agency, you end up having to get rid of your high-priced players on your roster. So, would you rather re-sign the guys you got, or go out and find new guys?
Speaking
and
of,
I don't mind the Kevin King resigning.
Yeah, the Packers re-signed Kevin King.
I see Packer fans were highly upset about that.
Well, we got a new defensive coordinator.
Don't care. Unless he can teach him how to tackle.
Hey, was he the one getting burnt? He was getting burnt the whole season.
No,
not the whole season.
Let's clarify.
Huh?
What he cannot do well, what he did not do well all season was tackle. The nigga could not. He cannot. He throw a shoulder at you. Tackle. He think he can hit stick, but he ain't got no hit behind.
He can work on that though. He worked on
it for 4 years.
The problem is he gets picked on because nobody wants to go at Jair. So like he's gonna get more balls thrown at him, and he just like they say, he can't tackle. So if he can defend the ball, like if it doesn't get to the people, like he's straight. But if
was he holding Allen Robinson?
I don't know.
Probably at some point.
I believe there's one.
Because I was like both Packer games. Whoever was that DB was getting dead.
It was definitely one Jair. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, one Jair. But
they weren't even looking his way.
The thing with King is King is actually not a bad. He's not a bad coverage corner.
He's not.
He had a bad game. That's terrible. Jackson. He had his worst game at the worst time.
Yeah.
And that was in the playoffs. But again, if he can learn how to tackle this offseason, if he can figure that part out, I'm okay with a 1-year deal for him. But y'all better draft a cornerback in this draft too. You hear me, Packers?
Probably first or second round.
Y'all pick one up because he ain't it long term. We can do it with it for this year. That's cool. I can deal with it. I wasn't happy, but I can deal with it. But y'all better not. Y'all better not mess this draft up.
So the I guess the war that's going on with the Packers right now and Aaron Rodgers with the contract restructure is he wants a guarantee past 2021.
I don't blame him.
I don't
want security.
Or 2022, I'm sorry. You want to make sure that he doesn't get screwed next year for staying this year and giving him a cut. So I was like, shit, if you want to have Jordan Love starting his third year. Who? Jordan Love starting his third year or beginning of his fourth year because they wanted to make sure they don't have to pay him out or something like that, or just make sure he sits long enough. Cool, but they probably want to start him next year, which is Rodgers like, nah, I'm not gonna give y'all a deal. We save all this money, and then y'all cut me next year. Like, that's not what's happening. So we are working on a restructure with him, but I say give him the one more year. Love can sit a whole year with the whole he sat all last year, but he ain't off season, so everything was still on the fly. He got a whole off season. He's sitting right now. Rodgers didn't start to his third year.
He was drafted in 05, and his first year starting was 08.
Yeah. You couldn't go the same route if you think he's the same guy. Take your time. Don't run your superstar out the city because he still put up an MVP season last year.
That's what I'm like. I can see if he was saying I'm planning to retire, like how Favre was doing the whole I might not. But he's not doing that, and also he literally just won the MVP last season. Like if he wasn't playing well, I could see why you'd be like, you know what? No, we don't want to give you this. Give the man his extend him, extend him.
We have seen absolutely nothing from Jordan Love. There's no body of work there. It's not like, he didn't even get to play preseason. You know what I mean?
Nothing.
I think it's a little premature. Unless he's really wowing you in practice, which I haven't heard any reports.
He
that's
was not.
The case.
He ain't beat Tim Boyle out.
He did not.
Not a
default. No.
Not a second. Not a snap. Not a grass leaf hit his damn cleat until after the game. He got no time, and you try to push Aaron Rodgers out. Give the man a whole off season and a preseason and a whole season to see how shit changes for the second year. That way he gets a full education as his first year, and then we see what happens.
Last year was really like a red shirt. That don't count.
But listen, the thing is, so with quarter, and I get it. If that's your guy, then that's your guy, and you really believe in him. But at the same time, the whole thing about young quarterbacks in the NFL recently has been when you hit on them, you get to reap the benefits of that low cap hole or cap hit, so you can really build up a team around them. But drafting a quarterback and then having him sit for 3 years, by the time he finally hits the field, you got to pay him.
He ain't gonna have to pay that much. He ain't earned nothing.
I mean, I'm saying if he gets to year 3 and becomes a starter, and then he sets the work, he has an Aaron Rodgers type first year, then he's already extension eligible at that point or whatever it is, like you're already staring at like only 1 more year left on his rookie deal or 2 years left on his rookie deal. Like,
and these quarterback cap hits is getting wild, bro.
Exactly. So it's like, I don't know. It just seems like poor cap management. Like, unless you really thought that this was going to be Rodgers' last year with you, which I mean, I guess
probably did.
They probably did, and fool on you, because the moment y'all drafted that nigga, y'all should have known what Aaron Rodgers was about. We said it on the show. We said it. We said this nigga might be MVP because he feels slighted. We know how he's
petty. He's petty. Like, oh, okay. That's where the double check came from. That's why whenever somebody do it, he light their ass up. He's petty. That's why all his State Farm commercials are petty. Like Aaron Rodgers is a petty football player. Like,
man, yes.
Don't piss him off.
He took it personal.
Every time.
Also, I don't know enough about NFL finance, so I'm really like legitimately asking you guys, like, if they just let him play out on his current contract, like going into next offseason, he still has another year after that, right?
I believe so.
He got a 3-year deal right now that takes him through 40. He got 3 years 40. Left to age 40. Yeah, he got 3 years left on. He can
get out of it like basically scot-free starting like next offseason.
After next year.
Which is why he wants them to do something this season so that he knows like this ain't just a 1 year. He don't want to be a lame duck quarterback this year. And again,
I guess I was asking that because it's like, okay, if they kind of agree, like, hey, we'll pay you all your money this year, but next year we'll kind of move you to the spot that you want to go to. Then we compensation. I know, but I'm just saying, like, I wonder if that, if there's a benefit to that. Like, if you guys get to a stalemate, it's like, I'm not giving money back to help y'all. And they're like, well, we want to make sure that we have flexibility going forward.
I'm going to just tell y'all right now, I can see this unfolding in a very messy way. Again, one, because Aaron Rodgers is petty.
Come to Chicago, nigga.
And I could see him doing it.
Yeah, he's definitely going to the NFC.
They would offer the world. Like, if it gets to that point, they're going to trade Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers comes to Chicago, I'm buying the jersey. I ain't going to lie.
I'm going to tell you this. If Aaron Rodgers goes to the Bears that week, I'm taking a week off from the show.
He's winning the Super Bowl with the
Bears. I do the show.
He'll do it just to piss everybody in the NFC North off. He'll for the Packers. He'll go all the way down and it'll be us versus his ass in the NFC Championship game, and he go off for 500 goddamn yards and win the Super Bowl the year we trade his ass to the Bears. And the Bear fan will never let us live that down ever.
Hey, let's have a moment of prayer for that.
The only reason why I can see them taking it, though,
not touching and agreeing on that.
I can see Chicago actually giving up 6 first-round picks.
The Packers would never trade him there. He'd have to get released and signed because they won't even trade.
They trade him to the AFC if he gets.
Right, they're going to trade him to a different conference. They're not going to trade him in the same. No, that ain't going to happen.
And it's going to be a team that they just played, so he's not coming up on their schedule again. Like they are.
Just how they did.
He gonna make his way back to the NFC North.
We've seen the blueprint. We've seen the blueprint. He might have to spend a year somewhere else before he can come back to where he want to come to get his revenge. We saw Favre go to the Jets for his 1 year and then come back to the Vikings, which also was traumatizing that first season. I didn't really know how to feel. Bro. It was like seeing an X all the time. Guy. Like I was like, I was uncomfortable. And I was
angry X. Every time you see that motherfucker, they smacking you up.
Oh, it's the X that like start going to the gym after y'all break up and get
it. I had a new boo with Aaron, and I don't know what to do because my old boo is coming to the same functions. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I don't want to have to relive that again.
Yeah, nightmare scenario.
Moving on. Speaking of the NFC North, though, the Vikings signed Patrick Peterson, which is a great pickup for them. I wanted us to grab him. Yeah, we ain't got no 1 year, $10 million money to throw out like some teams in the North, but that is what it is. That's a good pickup, Minnesota. I can't funny out with that. That's great. A good pickup.
They needed some secondary. They ain't got no damn body.
Y'all really trying to be the second best team in the North, and I respect that. The spot's wide open. It's wide open for you. So
it's sad. I can't even say that.
You really can't.
It's the truth. I can't even.
Y'all should be better than the Lions. I mean, they got.
Oh yeah, we better be good.
Well, actually,
hey, in the red rifle we trust, motherfucker.
They got Jared Goff. I mean, he ain't terrible.
No, he's not terrible.
Would you rather have Jared Goff or Andy Dalton?
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
At least Jared Goff could throw the ball up the damn field, and he had weapons too.
And I've seen him actually be good. So
Some point in time.
Andy Dalton was good before.
Yeah, like 5 years ago.
I'm just saying that was at some point, right? Like he was never.
And
good.
even that might be aggressive. Probably like 7 years ago.
Ain't no way. I'm gonna have to look that up.
That sounds about right.
Were there any other free agent signings that y'all saw?
Philly got their replacement for the other redhead, Carson Wentz.
Ooh, what you talking about? Who you talking about, Willis?
I forgot his last nickname, but Joe Flacco.
Oh, they got Joe Flacco?
Yeah.
Joe Flacco.
Again, not a bad backup.
Yeah.
Not a bad backup to have for Hurts.
The Giants. The Giants are making noise. And
yeah, they're
trying to be they're going to be the best defense in the NFC East. Mm-hmm. But they got quality pickups.
They're not going to have no excuse for that offense.
No.
If it don't work this year, like Danny Dimes did not progress too much last year, but
he got Saquon back.
Exactly. You're going to have your running back, which makes the game easier for you, y'all.
Mm-hmm. You got Kenny Galladay now as your number one. You got Darius Slayton behind him. You got Sterling Shepard behind him. Like that's three nice receivers
to work.
Kyle, maybe.
Wait, what happened with Kyle?
He failed a physical, so like they're reevaluating.
I thought you was gonna say failed a drug test. So I was like, they
well, same result. It's a failed physical, so
I think it's they found something in his foot. It might need surgery, so they're reassessing at this point.
Even then, they still have Evan Ingram. Like it's not like
vet. No, but I liked him as a good vet for Ingram because Ingram has the tools, but he never really put it all together yet. And Kyle Rudolph he's been like a solid tight end right there.
Mm-hmm. And I could see them drafting an offensive lineman, like guard or tackle in this draft, maybe two of them. But now that they got their offensive weapons back, they need a line for Danny to have time to throw. Because if Danny Dimes is accurate with the weapons, bro, like he ain't even gotta throw that much. But if he wants to, he has so many weapons now.
He got it.
That's a good offense if he makes it work.
Ain't no excuses no more. New York, you better come ready to play.
They could be the best team in the NFC East.
Well,
we'll see how the draft goes.
I wouldn't go that draft night, but they could be. I would still put.
Ain't nobody else got a defense.
Washington.
And then I was gonna say. I'm sorry.
Washington ain't got no offense.
Hey man, they got Fitz Magic right now, fam.
That's what I'm saying. Like they have a really good offense and a really good defense.
And Washington they picked up Curtis Samuel, which is a good pickup.
Giants picked up Adoree Jackson, and they got Logan Ryan over there.
I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying they have enough to score. Like you were acting like they ain't got no offense. Like they ain't gonna be able to do nothing.
The
defense wins games, nigga. Defense wins games, nigga.
Washington offense, like it's way better. That's what I'm saying. They have the best defense.
And if you want to talk about offenses, then the best offense is Dallas.
Yeah, of course it's Dallas, but again, they don't have a defense. I'm saying the Giants have a defense and an offense. That's why I feel they will be the best team in the NFC East. My other teams only got an offense or a defense. They don't have both, and they're really bad at the other.
Washington is not really bad offensively.
Okay, Washington is gonna be all right. They'll be all right. They're coming along. But as the most balanced team in the NFC East, like on offense and defense, they have the ability to offset the other.
Hey, they got to show improve. Y'all got any other free agents y'all want to talk about before we move into NBA?
Nah. I want to say
also just want to point out that Andy Dalton hasn't played 16 games since 2017.
Yeah, I said that last week. Yep.
But he did throw for almost 3,500 yards in 2019. So I mean, hey,
how many years ago was that though?
2.
Yeah.
But he also had 16 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. So maybe that's not a good.
Yeah. And like his touchdown to interception ratio be garbage. Last year 14-8. Like, come on,
it's
prime AJ Green too.
It's poor. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did.
Okay. It's been a while.
Your boy Deshaun is in LA.
Deshaun.
That was a nice pickup. Deshaun Jackson.
Like, if he can stay healthy.
For the Rams, I mean, you got him Stafford now. He has Robert Woods.
It's not even about what else is around him. It's about him. Can he finally be healthy? Because he hasn't been healthy for a while. But if he is, and he's still got some speed, then
he'll give him 200 yards in the first game.
That's a nice deep threat.
Yeah, they're gonna be fun to watch.
All right, so NBA, we're gonna do some injury news. We gotta go here. God damn it. I know, Ken. I know. LeBron James suffered a high ankle sprain in a loss to the Hawks. He is expected to miss 3 to 4 weeks. At the moment, the Lakers are only, I believe, 5 games ahead of the 8th place Dallas Mavericks. So y'all probably still going to be without AD for another 2 months, or not 2 months, I'm sorry, about 2 weeks or so.
2 weeks. Mm-hmm.
So, I was looking at the schedule, actually.
And you have it pulled up, or could
I was writing it down a little bit.
How are you feeling, Ken? I just Laker fan. Like, I just need to know, like,
injuries have not been nice to us this year. That comes from us like playing so many games, the turnover, like actually, playing in the actual finals and all of that. Injuries hasn't been nice to us, man. Seeing LeBron go down and then automatically knowing like, damn, AD not here either. Like what do we kind of fall back on? It's kind of terrifying. But I feel like that we can hold our own while LeBron is out. It just depends how, like, what AD we get when he comes back. So, if it's going to take AD almost a few weeks to get back to, in-game shape and get back to playing as dominant as AD has been, it's going to be rough.
Like, you would imagine. You got something to say, Tim?
I did, real quick. I guess we got to put a reminder that it's not that many games left or weeks in the season left. So
that's the bigger issue. Like the amount of time that they have left, like there are a bunch of games shoved in. So they have a lot of games left. It's just they come so quickly that, like, you out for 2 weeks, you missed 10 games or something like that. I got to say exaggeration, but yeah.
No, I actually got it. Like that's what I was trying to get at. Like if we say 2 weeks from today, AD is out, that he come back early as 4-2, right? That's the next 5 games for sure that y'all missing, AD and LeBron. AD comes back, AD. So LeBron come back, say in a month, 422 at the earliest. That's 15 games for LeBron gone. When Bron and AD comes back, y'all have 14 games left in the season.
Mm-hmm.
That's wishing that they both come back ready to go, being their former selves, not working themselves still back into shape.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think y'all gonna finish in the West when y'all
how many games up are they on the 7th seed?
I think it was only like 4 games or something like that.
3.5, something like that. Yeah, so like that's the thing. Like they're in grave danger of falling into the play-in, which, I mean, like obviously
that would be crazy.
If LeBron and AD are back by then like single elimination, like you would still feel good about it, but that means somebody doesn't have like a historic shooting night, or like then you're really putting yourself in a position where Lakers don't even make the actual playoffs.
Y'all 5 games up from the 8th seed right now. Y'all got next 5 games. Next 5 games without y'all superstar. You already lost one of. Well, y'all got 5 more, but y'all got to win some, and hope that when he comes back, y'all continue to win some, because it's gonna be rough coming out of the West with everybody locked right there.
Yeah,
5 games will turn around quick in a week.
And the thing with the Lakers is, which, I mean, you could say that with most teams with superstars, like I feel like y'all were able to get by without AD because LeBron is LeBron. Like that's LeBron James. Like he can mold himself to be whatever the team needs on whatever day that is. But
exactly.
You take out LeBron too, and now your best player is Dennis Schroeder, and
I mean, he can put the numbers up, but he can't do it by himself.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Kuzma gonna be your number man.
Hey, Kuzma be putting it up though. Kuzma has been balling defensively too. Kuzma has been stepping it up. Achilles heel been Gasol, bro. Like Mark has been like trash.
Mark and West, I keep hearing coming up. Like
the West, I was like, oh, he finna come pulling. I was like, oh, I watched him in some Bucks games. And I said, he can shoot. Man, he been coming here, dog. Nothing. I told you, I see maybe 1 arrow all season. 1 arrow, bro.
I was gonna say I haven't seen the numbers from this year, but I know last year, like the Lakers were a negative anytime that LeBron was on the bench and AD was in. So even if they get AD back, best case scenario 2 weeks from now, like they still haven't historically been a great team without LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
So
it would still miss that.
If they're like 400 winning percentage team without either one of them. Like they may be a 500 team with AD back. So
you're looking at a play-in.
Or, like this could galvanize the team. Like they do have probably buyouts coming. They're not tampering, but apparently it's a fait accompli that Andre Drummond is coming somehow. Just by osmosis, like they picked that up.
They randomly know these things. Premonition.
They don't tamper though, but apparently only the Bucks do. So
no, I mean like they don't tamper now that Magic Johnson's gone. He was tampering, but they stopped all that once he left.
Apparently,
yes, we did. We did. We're a stand-up organization.
I guess a good scenario
everything on the up and up.
If y'all did get a healthy LeBron and AD by the time to play, if y'all in a play-in spot, a play-in situation, but then y'all got to play Utah first round.
Man, I'll be pissed if I was Utah. Like you play all season to get the number 1 seed, and then you got to face the Lakers in round 1.
Yep,
we go bust that ass.
That's the I could say that's the best case scenario if y'all fall down to like the
I give you that
proverbial ladder into that territory.
Yeah.
If they the 8 seed, they're gonna have to fight their way there too. They're gonna have to go through that playoff scenario, and I'm gonna tell you this: whoever gonna have to see Ja and them Grizzlies in the playoffs is gonna have to really
get your cardio up.
It's guaranteed, but it's only a couple games, so a lot can happen in one 1-2.
Yeah, and it really depends on like where they fall. So, like obviously, if they're 7th, then they they get 2 bites at the apple.
Win 1. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess 7 or 8,
but
they only have to win 1. If they 9 or 10, one wrong move, one wrong turn at an ankle at the wrong time, somebody gets hot and goes 7 for 7 from 3. Like it's too much of a slim margin of error to really want to put yourself in that position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Lakers will still make the playoffs. Even with all that being said, I still have that much faith in y'all. I will say that. Thank because you. When healthy, like y'all got the pieces. So, and y'all the defending champs, and I won't ever come out.
We the what? Champs. What are we?
The defending champs.
Oh, there we
dang,
go. Yeah.
All right, Jesus,
I
won a championship. All right,
put some respect on it.
Meanwhile, we going the other way. We look like a goddamn jetpack on our wins.
Well, before we get off the Lakers, I just want to say I was going to I had fully planned to come in here ranting because like the LeBron media machine had kicked up. Like he definitely put the bug in everybody. You're flabbergasted. You're appalled.
Yes, I am.
I'm just saying, like to a man, like every reporter that's tight with LeBron, every LeBron teammate, man, he the MVP, right? Y'all know he should have had like 3 more MVPs, right? Like, I'm gonna still get my rant off just because like it was frustrating at the moment. It's like LeBron like purposely and loudly declared that he didn't care about MVPs. All he cared about was championships. Like, leaving Miami, coming back to Cleveland. Like he was like, I'm trying to win championships. Like the regular season is about getting ready for May and June. So, the media who votes for the MVP is like, okay, bet. Like, you're clearly like,
you don't want it.
At like 80, 85% in the regular season. So, we'll look at Steph or we'll look at KD or Giannis or James Harden or whatever. Like these guys are going all out. They're having the best regular seasons, which the MVP is a regular season award. Like, yes, LeBron missed out on an MVP that they gave to Derrick Rose. Like that one I can see. And there may be one like before he got his first MVP where it's like, he's probably the best player now. But since 2014 or whatever it is, I don't think that there's a year that you can definitively say LeBron James had the best regular season in the NBA. And, like that's by his own admission. And once he started caring about MVPs again, like other people just had better seasons. Like that doesn't mean he's not the best player in the league anymore. That doesn't mean he would be the first pick if you were drafting a team for Game 7 of the finals, but sustained excellence throughout the regular season has not been LeBron. And that's why you don't have 8 MVPs.
And he might not get it this year with his injury.
No.
So.
And there are better people having better seasons than him this year.
Yeah.
Even if he was
look. I know. Joker, listen, Embiid got injured. LeBron got injured. You are now the front runner. Please stay healthy, young man. Stay healthy. Everybody stay healthy. But yeah, I'm kind of sad that I'm always sad to see him get injured, but like the MVP race has been really interesting to me this season because like there's a lot of dudes hooping right now. It's a lot of dudes who are really, really hooping, and you can argue it a few different ways about who you really want to have that award. So it'll be interesting. According to sport books, Jokic is actually now the favorite to win the MVP, and with LeBron's injury and the way the Nets have been hooping without KD, the Nets have actually now moved as the betting favorite to win the NBA title. Other injury news, Charlotte Hornets guard LaMelo Ball, the front runner for Rookie of the Year.
This one hurt.
Our boy, man.
Yeah, this one hurt for real.
Fractured wrist. The initial report said that he was expected to miss the rest of the season, but he got surgery today, and now they are not necessarily saying there's no hope at all for him to return at some point this season. I think that'd be a pretty quick turnaround, but I am definitely going to be hoping and praying and cheering for that young man's recovery to get back
absolutely
time, to finish out this season.
Yeah,
who do you think is going to win Rookie of the Year?
I still
say 4 months.
I meant 4 weeks. I mean, I think he's done enough. Like, and he's so far in ahead of all the other rookies at this point. The only person I could see catching up to him at this point is probably Anthony Edwards if he continues to do what he's been doing for like the last 2 weeks.
Because
he's been balling. He's been hooping.
Yeah, it's been.
Like, he seems to have figured some things out. Like, they're putting the ball in his hands a little bit more since they made the coaching change. The only thing is, like, D'Angelo Russell is coming back soon, so I don't know, like, how that will affect him. But otherwise, like, I think that LaMelo has been so far and ahead the best rookie this season. Like, it's not. And he's played like at least half of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even that. Like, Embiid played like 30 games, and that's why people were like, "Is he the rookie of the year?" But Melo got, I think, 41 out of 72. So
yeah. Outside of Anthony Edwards, your other options are like Emmanuel Quigley with the Knicks, Tyrese Halliburton with the Kings. I really do like Halliburton's game. I will say that.
But that would be more of like a Brogdon type rookie of the year. No shade, but just like, you know, he's a great role player and probably can bump up to a little bit more, but he's not like, you know, franchise cornerstone type player.
Hey, but you ain't got to be on that to win rookie of the year. You just got to have the best season that year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it would just be a Brogdon type.
I'm going to stand on it. If any 76ers fans are listening, he deserved that rookie of the year award that year. You hear me? Y'all, I forgot how petty I was. I saw the tweet and I was like, dang, y'all really did organize a whole cohort to come to a Milwaukee 76ers game in Milwaukee to boo Malcolm Brogdon. And when Malcolm Brogdon was injured, y'all just picked someone else to boo instead. I believe it was Tony Snell who they just decided to boo the whole game because Brogdon wasn't playing. So they had to pick some like petty.
I like Milwaukee. I live here. I'm proud to be from here. But can you imagine using PTO to travel to Milwaukee to boo a 23-year-old kid?
They did boo Santa Claus, so I mean,
just saying like that.
It's never that serious.
No,
never.
Like, you took off of work and spent money to travel. Boo! Like, your vacation was to Milwaukee. To
boo.
That's a waste of time.
The whole game. Boo.
If I ever seen one.
Like, I'm all for traveling to other cities to see your team play like in different arenas, but to
how much hate
to boo
in your heart?
You didn't come to see your team. You came to boo the other team. Like that's
like you said, they booed Santa, bro.
And the thing is, you couldn't even cheer for your guy. I think it was like snowballs and shit, but yeah.
It's like Philly threw batteries at somebody at some point.
Yeah, probably did.
That's
probably like
neither here nor there.
A nativity scene or something. Like, no, Philly.
Steph Curry injured his tailbone, but he isn't expected to be out long term. When I saw that injury, all I could say was I know that hurt. Yeah. I'm not sure if any of y'all have ever injured your tailbone, but falling straight on your booty and having that pain just shoot up through your lower back, just all the way up. Yikes!
Nope.
Not pleasant. Not pleasant.
Got the wind knocked out of me.
Not the same, but Washington Wizards forward Davis Bertans, he's expected to miss about 2 weeks because of a strained right calf. Giannis missed Monday's game against the Pacers with a minor knee injury.
Quote,
He's considered day-to-day. It's Giannis.
My man's was jigging the whole game.
Dog, Giannis was out of control.
I'm like, bro, you ain't even pretending like you hurt. Like you falling out, woke up, and fell back to sleep again. I'm like, bro, come on, get off the court. Get your big ass off the court, bro.
With a headband on.
No, so I'm got a mild knee. Man, if you don't get your ass up.
Hey,
you need to take her day off, man. It's
right.
They jumped over that damn banister about 10 times. Dog.
Hey man, if Kyrie can take off for his birthday, Giannis can take off because he tweaked his knee.
You could tell
That's
that
fair.
something was wrong with his knee during their last game because he's a little ginger, but they just take care.
Yeah,
of
walked
the
off the court for a
franchise.
minute.
Yeah, take care of the franchise. We know he got he don't like to pretend. He'll pretend he ain't hurt when he is hurt. So if that was the case, and the Bucks were like, let's just give your knee a little bit of time, I'm all for that. And as Eric mentioned, the Nets this week are going to be shorthanded because Kyrie is not traveling with the team on their 3-game road trip. Today is also his birthday.
Happy birthday, boss.
Quite possible he took some PTO off for his day, like most of us normal
you ain't wrong.
normal folks.
You're not wrong.
And it's funny, like they'll never admit it, but it places a certain segment in a more logical quandary because they love to shout, "It's your job. You get paid millions of dollars to do X, Y, Z." It's like, okay, it's my job. I get PTO. I'll see y'all on Sunday. Like,
have great company benefits.
Right.
Just don't post the pictures of you doing whatever it is that you're doing.
Take everybody's phone. NDAs. All
Treat it like a Chappelle concert.
Man, Chappelle was not locked
Put it in a little black bag and then put it in this bag in that box over there. Like, geez, and they had locks on them with like little remotes.
Kevin Hart did the same thing too, but I got hit, but I'll just be like, I left it in the car. Y'all ain't about to put my phone in no bag, fam. I'll turn the volume off. I'll turn the vibration off. But y'all, I don't trust y'all. Y'all ain't taking my phone.
It was getting people about them paint too.
Because people are stupid. They
standing up.
You're the only one with a phone out.
Flash going off. Like, bro,
they
come on
will
now.
see you.
Like, come on now.
Oh shit.
Why the flashlight on?
They will see you.
It ain't before this flashlight. I can't see.
Right. I was looking for my keys.
The lights ain't bright enough on the stage.
You're looking for the exit too. Get your ass out.
You and your phone. Leave. Oh, and the Nets are also going to be without Landry Shamet, who sprained his right ankle. The MRI, the MRI came back clean, did not show any significant damage. So hopefully something serious with him. And D Rose rejoined the Knicks this past week, although it's unclear when he's going to play again because he had COVID. And when they interviewed him, he was pretty much like, yeah, they say it's like the flu. It ain't like the flu. It was 10 times worse than any flu I ever had. I still don't feel that great, but at least I'm negative now. So they got to work him back into shape.
Like, I don't get how we still a year in and people still like, man, that COVID shit is real. Like, yeah, no shit. Like, millions of people have had it at this point. Like, I don't need to get something to take other people's word for it. Like, I'm not
living by faith.
I don't need that type of convincing, huh?
I said, that's living by faith for real.
How so?
God got me. And they going about their merry way. Like, all right.
Oh, I was just talking about
your ass.
Who still don't understand, like, I don't think it's serious. Like Eric said, I don't need to get sick to see how sick you can get. Yeah. I'm cool. I understand.
I had it. It's garbage.
Hey, when you got
literally
like,
the worst experience.
I said, and you was telling me everything that you was going through. I was like, listen.
Literally the worst three. It lasted 3 weeks, bro. Like, what lasts 3 weeks, yo? Like,
Jason Tatum still feeling some side effects.
Mm-hmm. He's not right yet.
A whole new.
I couldn't even imagine being an athlete running up and down the court after I had that shit. Man, hell no. It was hard to even get out the fucking bed to go pee and shit, like, or to go eat or do anything. Like, yeah.
And you can imagine. Run.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, oh, I'm gonna go hoop. Like, what?
Yeah, that's rough. Former NBA center Sean Bradley, we learned that he was paralyzed after a bicycle injury.
Yikes.
So I definitely just wanted to put that on there to just send out some love to him and his family. That's
definitely. That's messed up for real.
He was hit by a moving vehicle.
Yeah. And be mindful when you're driving cyclists. Like you have, if y'all get into a crash, you have protection. They do not. So it's the impetus is on you to be more careful.
Yeah.
That being said,
a moving vehicle.
How big was the bike?
To collide with a parked car.
Ooh, Jesus. How big is the bike that can fit Sean Bradley? Like I really want to see like that type of bike.
Huge.
Like his legs are humongous. Like I can't even imagine like how you can comfortably ride a bicycle.
How tall Sean Bradley was?
Custom made bike.
I'm just saying I want to see it. Like I'm legitimately curious. You know what I mean? Like those are one of those things where like as big people like you can't imagine like how they live day to day. It's like you really gotta like that just seems uncomfortable. Like they talk that Andre the Giant documentary talked about like how he had to get like 2 seats on the plane and he could never use the bathroom in the plane because it's too small for him. Like, it's just like, you know, people look at people that tall like, oh man, I wish I was that tall. I'd be an NBA star. And it's like that they still got to live in a world that's
after a certain height.
7 feet people.
It's really not. It's really not. And Andre was also like had a lot of weight on him too. Like he was tall and wide. Like, yeah. Also wanted to pay our respects to the Lakers legend, Hall of Famer Elgin Baylor, who passed away of natural causes earlier this week. A real superstar, superstar. Like one of the first players to play above the rim. Like that was one of the guys who like my uncle's always like, listen, you want to talk about somebody nice, you better talk about Elgin Baylor. Like my old head uncles, they was always talking about Elgin Baylor and how cold he was. 11-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA first team. And he was named one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history. All well-deserved. Sending love out to his family and his loved ones and all those who were affected by his passing.
Didn't he drop like 60 plus in the finals?
Probably.
Yeah, I think he has the finals record. I think it was like 61.
That's good.
I know he has the record. I'm pretty sure it's 61, but
and it really sucked. Like he was a victim of his time. Like his entire career basically was like the Celtics like dominant run where they won like almost every championship in the 60s. And like him and Jerry West could never get past him. Like they met him in the finals a bunch of times, could never get past him. And then 9 games into I think the 73 season, 72, 73, one of them. Like he had a bunch of knee injuries and he was like, all right, I'm done. Like they wanted to bring him off the bench and he's like, I don't want to do that. So he retired. Lakers go on to have like the longest win streak in NBA history and then won a championship. And he was like, I don't want to ring from that.
Where like the rings argument, like again, like there's a little bit too much weight that gets put on rings when talking about how great a player is because it's one guy on the team. It's one guy on the team. And yes, you expect your superstar to help lead you. But look, in that finals game we were just talking about, I looked it up. He had 61 points. He played all 48 minutes, and he also had 22 boards. What more do you want him to do?
Exactly. Literally.
That's not my fault no more.
And he was playing defense too.
Yeah, like that's not what more can I physically do here? Like, so I just hope that people will give guys more credit who you know.
And I mean, it's really a circumstance of your time, like the era in which you play. Because it's like if you just happen to be there in like the dominant run of Bill Russell or the dominant run of Michael Jordan, like yeah, you probably playing for second place a bunch of years. Like whereas like if you were there like in the mid 2000s when like there was no dominant team, it's like rings for everybody. You know what I mean? Like it's different context based on when you play it, really.
So definitely, just sending love to Elgin Baylor's family and all of those people, and just I hope that this made people kind of do some research on how cold that man was. And if you didn't get a chance to see him play, like I didn't see him play, talk to somebody. You talk to one of your old heads. Like there's somebody who who probably saw him play can give you some real info on that. On a lighter note, because that was a little heavy, talking about someone getting paralyzed and then someone passing away. I don't know if y'all were aware, because I completely forgot that Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield were supposed to be fighting this year. But that fight is in danger of falling through now because they can't agree on them contract negotiations. According to Holy Campfield, Tyson refused a $25 million guarantee. So Holyfield was like, nah. And then Tyson's camp was like, then nobody offer Mike no 25 million. But you know what? At this point, Mike doesn't want anything to do with them anymore. We're done. So at this point, it's a long shot to see Holyfield and Tyson fight. Personally, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But the other side of me also was looking forward to another one of those Tyson boxing events, like the one we had with him.
Yeah, that was a good night.
It was a fun night.
I
had a good time.
I enjoyed that night. It was a good
Snoop
night.
Dogg he was the star. Like, it was fun. Everybody was just smoking and singing and doing their songs, and then it would be a fight in the middle of it, and the undercard was good. Like, it was a good night. So they're saying that the fight could still take place, but at this point, who knows? But
it's a bummer.
And look, if I would have
tuned in, I enjoyed the first one.
By the time this fight would have happened in May, I'd be fully vaccinated. I'd be able to like watch it with some friends who were also vaccinated. It would have been a fun night.
I thought you were going to say you head to Vegas. I
ain't I ain't saying all that yet. But yeah, that's what's going on with that. So let's bounce back to the NBA, some MLB. Let's get some transaction news and talk some trade deadline rumors. NBA. So the Bucks got PJ Tucker from the Houston Rockets for DJ Augustine, DJ Wilson, and pretty much a pick swap. That's part of the reason why this trade was able to work, because the Rockets already owned a Bucks pick. They put that in a deal, flipped it up, put it in reverse, switched it. I'm not like the details of it is like,
it don't matter. Like, basically the Bucks dropped back like
from the end of the first round to the beginning of the second
this year's draft, and then they swapped their 22 and their 23 pick because Houston already had it.
Yeah. And listen, when the news broke, I was pretty excited. I was playing 2K, and I saw my phone kept lighting up, and I knew something had happened at that point. And I looked down, and I saw the Bucks got PJ Tucker. So I was like, oh God, who did we give up for him?
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw it was just
no
the DJs,
damn body.
2 DJs for a PJ, I was all for that.
Like, what? Okay.
That's it. I was like, not Pat Connaughton? Bet. Good stuff.
Wasn't Augustine deal for 3 years too?
Yeah, but I believe that the third year
really.
was a team option, so, or non-guaranteed.
The same difference.
So I'm happy with it. PJ twisted his ankle during their win against the Pacers. So I hope that's not serious, but definitely love the move for the Bucks. It's not the kind of move where I'm like,
championship.
We just got. No, I mean it helps them. It helps.
Well, no, it's not a.
Like, some people were acting like PJ Tucker is like all-star. Like, he is a 35-year-old role player, and I understand that. I just think that he is going to be very valuable to the Bucks team because he gives the Bucks more options of what they want to do on the court defensively. So I was here for it. I'm not sure. I mean, I know y'all like the trade too, but is there anything y'all wanted to add on it?
Yeah, for me, like it one opportunity cost, like not opportunity cost, like the actual tangible cost was negligible. Like, there was, like, if anything, like, even if PJ like turned his ankle and didn't play another second for the Bucks, like, that was advantageous because they got off of Augustine's money going forward.
Mm-hmm. I do want to just say real quick, the mayor is in the chat, and he said that Eric J called it because you were talking about PJ, how you wanted PJ in Milwaukee, so he wanted to give you some credit.
I appreciate that because I did say that last week, and like for that same, like I'm happy with it for that same reason, because like it, like to your point, Camille, like it unlocks a lot of things for the Bucks. Like, they can play a lot more Giannis at center minutes because like they were doing it, but Pat Connaughton, like, that don't hit the same as Jay Tucker. You know what I mean? Like, he tries, but you don't have to wait on him to do what PJ does. Right. And again, like, the Bucks want to become more of a switching team. Like, go out and get somebody that has basically perfected switching. Like, his defensive communication, like his institutional knowledge about just, you know, the opposition and the way to switch and when to switch and when not to switch, and, you know, like that type of stuff, like that is invaluable to a team that really doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, like, in that regard.
It was a Bucks player who said too, like you hear him all the time. Like, when he's on the bench, you hear him. When he's on the court, you hear him. Like he is just always in your ear telling you where you need to be at.
which is like the number. I mean, it's not the number one, but it's a very important part of team defense. Like if you don't know where everybody is at and you don't communicate where you're at or whatever, like the opposition is doing, like that's how miscommunications come about. You know what I mean? So like having a vet that knows, how to play solid team defense that knows his role, like that isn't going to be like, oh, I need some more shots. I'm not playing enough, whatever. Like he's there to win the championship. And the more people that you can bring in with that mentality, like the better. And yeah, he doesn't take anything off the board really. Like,
nope. They didn't have to give up. I don't want to say anything of value because that sounds rude, but
I mean, the pick is probably gonna be like a really late pick swap if it's swapping our first.
I mean, the way things are going, like Houston's gonna end up with the worst record, and the Bucks have a shot at the best record, so it may just be a swap of
a few,
one spot,
like literally a few places. So, would you have any other PJ thoughts, Tim?
No, like y'all pretty much hit the nail on the head. Like mainly his defensive ability to allow us to switch everything, and it was interesting seeing him run some zone too. Like,
oh yeah, they did bust out the zone.
Yeah, I was like, okay, y'all really trying to throw in some defensive shit. Okay, but like I liked it because it did give him a little bit of throw a little surprise at the team, and it's just showing that we are working on truly different things to make sure that we are able to combat whatever we come across in the playoffs. Not just on the offensive end, but on the defensive end as well. So acquiring another player who is known to communicate and known to talk a lot on defense and is strong as hell. Like we have a team full of players who are stronger than their size. Outside of Giannis, like we have some strong cats on this team. Like DiVincenzo could get a game with 13, 14 rebounds and shit like that. Like rebounding is a lot of heart and hustle and moving people. So adding PJ just kind of adds to the dynamic of our team's balance, pretty much. Like we got a really good squad.
Yeah, and they also were able to get off of Torrey Craig's contract by sending him to Phoenix for cash considerations, which now allows the Bucks to also be buyers in the buyout market, which before they were not going to be able to until like April when it would have only been scraps. Right. So, personally, I'm hoping that the Bucks can pick up a guard. That's the only place where I'm just kind of like they're a little weak. You said
Patty Mills.
Look, I tweeted somebody. I said, I was like, I don't want to hope but I would really be happy if Patty Mills went to the Spurs and said, you know what? I kind of want out too. He'd be perfect.
Yeah. You know who would love that too? Probably Kane
Pittman. Oh yeah. Get an Aussie on
Patty
the team.
Mills here. That would be perfect.
My wish list is Patty Mills, Gorgie Jang, who is apparently like a buyout candidate in Memphis. Like he's actually he's lighter than Brooke, but basically has a similar skill set, and he's a little bit more athletic. And like if we can't get Patty Mills, like the guard I want is he ain't great, but Austin Rivers would be beneficial. Yeah, like just another person that can, knock down open shots and handle the ball a little bit, can play defense. Again, coming from Houston, he can switch. Like,
what if Rondo's available?
No, I'm good.
Really? I would take Rondo defensive-minded playmaking first point guard on our second unit.
Hey, listen, playoff Rondo is a different animal.
Hey, he helped the Lakers win last year. Last year.
He definitely did.
5 months ago.
I guess I look at it from a personality standpoint. Like, I don't think he's a culture fit with Milwaukee. And that's not saying, anything wrong with him. I just think that if they were I'm worried about bringing in Chris Paul because I don't know, if he meshes with our culture. It's not about unprofessionalism. I think it's just, the way, personalities clashing. I don't think that, again, if you have a problem with Chris Paul, you're definitely not going to want Rondo in your locker room. I get, one's a minimum and the other is on a max contract, but still, if that's what your actual concern was, then
So before this, we'll move off of this in a second, but before the season started, a name that was interesting to me was Isaiah Thomas as a spark off the bench, because at that time we didn't have the full team dynamics filled out. And then I saw the Bucks run with small guards, and I was like, I don't really like this too much. But as a buyout candidate, if Isaiah Thomas is as healthy as they're saying he is and looking good, I don't have any beef with having another scorer on the squad as long as the rotations make sense while he is out there. Do not be trying to throw out no Isaiah Thomas, Bryn Forbes, Pat Connaughton.
Throw them out
like,
there.
Bobby Portis lineups.
Like, no. Like, no, we don't need that. Like, you got to balance that. You better have Drew out there with IT or something like that. Like, have some balance. But I wouldn't mind that as a pickup off the.
I don't even want to put that option in Bud's wheelhouse. Like, him, just save him from himself.
Yeah.
The Heat traded Myers Leonard, a 2027 second round pick.
Yeah.
To the Thunder for Trevor Ariza. So they got their vet as well.
And OKC could not
Miami's
get the word out. OKC could not get the word out quick enough. Like, he is not playing for us. We only got him for the contract.
Mm-hmm.
He's out for the season. He will not be brought back. Like, they put that shit
like on our jet, bro.
As he will not set foot in Oklahoma City. Like, they were on it. Like, the second Woj bomb was he's not gonna play.
No.
I wish the Bucks would do that with the other dude they picked up from
Houston.
I didn't even want to learn how to pronounce his name. I was like, yeah, we good. The NBA trade day. What's going on with my words? I'm not even at the party this week. I'm just chilling. The NBA trade deadline is this week. A lot of names are being thrown out there. I just want to ask y'all first of all, do you think that this is going to be a busy deadline?
I guess define busy.
Because there's a lot of teams in positions where they feel like they can fight. Like you said, they killed tanking by trying to force Zion in last year with playing. So congratulations. So like you said, there's a lot of players or a lot of teams that are probably feeling like, we can probably make a push right here, especially the top halves of both conferences. Like you can see that there are moves trying to be made, not just on the trade scale, but on the, like you said, the buyout scale, or like JJ Redick name was thrown out there for like a
JJ
buyout.
Redick is not going to be a Pelican much longer.
So it's like you got all kind of gears getting set in motion just by the trade deadline. So it won't just be the trades; it's going to be everything else as well.
Well, I'm talking about trades at this point, like not the buyouts, but just like the trade deadline. Because some trade deadlines it'd be like trade, and he'd be like, "Dang, like I should have took off work. Like I'm busy. I'm trying to keep up." In other years, the deadline come and
you took off work.
It ain't nothing.
Yeah, I think there will be like a lot of low level moves, like people kind of trying to fill out their rotations. But like, I think the biggest name that's probably gonna get moved. I guess there's a chance that Kyle Lowry moves, but other than that, like I think the biggest name is gonna be Oladipo, which I mean he's a bigger name than he is a talent at this point. And then Eric Gordon, like that. If those are your headliners, like it's like, are we really
looking forward to
really shuffling things around, or is it just like like a whole lot of noise and nothingness? But
apparently, the Pacers are listening to calls on Malcolm Brogdon,
and kind of Sabonis too.
And their Sabonis is apparently not off the table.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I did not foresee Brogdon even being like.
I mean, I do, just because of the injury thing. Or it's like, can we sell high on him at this point before we got to pay out the rest of this contract?
He's in the second year of a 4-year, $85 million contract.
Yeah,
Brogdon, when he's on the court,
he'll give you 20 and 10 quick.
That's the key phrase, though. When he's on the court, which is,
so he's somebody who
part of the reason why the Bucks were a little bit more comfortable letting him walk.
Yeah, in addition to him wanting to be point guard, in which they said Eric Bledsoe is going to do that, and I don't want to revisit that at this moment. But because we mentioned West before and we just mentioned Bledsoe now, like I don't know if there are two more hated people by their respective fan bases this season. Like West with the Laker fans,
West with the Lakers, and Bledsoe with New Orleans. Like they want them gone, like both of them. And the fact that was our starting backcourt last year, and Giannis dragged them to a 70-win pace, like he earned that MVP. That's all I want to say. It's like, and I love Bled, but like seriously, like give my man his roses.
Yeah, having Drew every time I'm like what Drew did against the Pacers, I was like, Bledsoe couldn't have done this. It's just different.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm about to say a name that's getting thrown out there is Kyle Lowry.
Well, he's been on that's a name that's been out there.
And what's the name now? Miami wants Norman Powell. Norman Powell's name is being thrown out there.
Yeah, I've heard Powell's name coming up recently, and I was like, that's interesting. So I'm curious to see if the Raptors are now thinking
they want Tyler Hero.
The Raptors?
Yeah, that just popped up on the phone like 20 minutes ago. They want Tyler Hero.
And I'm guessing Miami's like he's not an option.
Exactly.
So that
y'all gonna take Duncan Robinson and be happy about it.
But would Tyler Hero facilitate you, let's say Norman and Kyle Lowry? Because it's one of the two that's coming that way.
Look, if they weren't willing to give up Hero to get Harden, like I'm not trading them for
Kyle Lowry and
35-year-old Kyle Lowry and Norman Powell. Like
that's a great point. Yeah, Tyler Hero's been like they are adamant, like no. They like I said, they think Tyler Hero could be Devin Booker in Miami.
Like unless I'm getting like a Bradley who is not getting traded, a Bradley Beal back, like I'm not entertaining, Tyler Hero trades. It's the same thing with Michael Porter Jr. in Denver. Like everybody's trying to, will they offer him for X, Y, and Z? It's like no, unless a Beal level star is on the board, like Porter isn't going anywhere.
Aaron Holiday is a guard who is gettable at this moment from the Pacers.
Gettable.
Watching the Pacers yesterday, like I know people have been in a rush to split up Sabonis and Turner. Like, oh, you have two centers, like you guys might as well. I don't know if Sabonis is like I think he's better at power forward. Like I don't necessarily think that he is a 5 defensively. Like he doesn't really protect the rim like that.
Yeah, when they were playing Bucks last night, someone was on my Twitter like, I thought this was going to be a lot closer because the Bucks ain't have Giannis. And I was like, the Pacers don't have Brogdon or Turner. Mm-hmm. They're like, but they got Karis LeVert and Sabonis. And I was like, they need more people. That's not enough. That's not enough. Not against, like, the Bucks still got 2
underrated
All-Stars. Yeah, the Bucks have 2 former All-Stars starting without Giannis in the game. Like, still, like, you have Chris Middleton, you have Jrue Holiday. Oh, and I think Brooks also a former All-Star at this point. Shout out to Brooke Lopez, man. I've been holding it down for you, Brooke. Niggas been wanting to trade you and whatnot, man. I've been having your back, Brooke. I've been having your back. Way to hoop. I'm glad to see it.
And you know why he's not getting traded? Because like he is what keeps Giannis from having to play center all the time, and that is more valuable to Giannis than probably even having his brother on the team. So Brooke Lopez ain't going nowhere until they have a viable replacement.
But yeah, man, that's another name out there. Spencer Dinwiddie, he is available.
Boston talking about Dinwiddie.
Miami's talking about Dinwiddie.
I don't want Boston to trade for Dinwiddie because Boston goes trade defense to the Nets. If they trade, they center around Marcus Smart. But then they talking about Avery Bradley too.
Boston's been just in almost everybody who available. Boston is like tied to them in some way. Like I think I even saw them tied to Aaron Gordon at some point, and I was like,
they're considered the front runner for Gordon at this point.
They got a $28 million trade exception. Mm-hmm. You got to fill that void, otherwise it's gone. And that's a hugely wasted.
Like there are actually like 2 things going on with Boston and Orlando. So, they're looking at Aaron Gordon for basically 2 first-round picks. They allegedly want like a young player too. We'll see, like Aaron Neesmith, Remy Langford, like that type, like a former first-round pick. And then they're also looking at expanding that trade and swapping Smart for Fournier. So Fournier, Aaron Gordon to Boston for picks, young player, and Smart. Which I'm not, like I was trying to think of like what their lineups are, like Boston, like what's the upside for Boston there, and like Kemba, Jalen, Jason, Gordon, and then Tristan Thompson, Daniel Tice, which I mean I guess is better than what they have, but I don't feel like it really addresses like their primary problem, which is that Kemba isn't Kemba anymore, and they don't really have like somebody to set guys up.
It's interesting, like there's names that get thrown out, like apparently because the Hawks have been listening on John Collins, and they were talking to Boston because Boston's talking to everybody, and they were pretty much like, if you won John Collins, we won Jaylen Brown.
Hey, John Collins gonna get paid, bro. He's nice.
And Boston was like, nice. Boston said, if you won Jaylen Brown, then you better be talking about giving up Trae Young, because
right.
Like the fuck?
Like, where are y'all on?
I did hear Atlanta turned this down, but Sacramento offered Bagley for John Collins.
They're like, nah, bro.
I would have turned that down too. I'm not trying to hear that.
I mean, I guess if the thing is like you don't want to pay John Collins, like getting back another young forward. I don't know if Bagley is it, but like I get why.
And maybe he just needs to change the scenery, the way him and his family fighting that organization over there.
We'll see what happens. I think Miami's going to do something. They're going to do something. I don't know what that something is, but they will. I'm curious to see if the Pelicans are going to trade Lonzo.
I don't think so. I think he's been playing too well.
Yeah, he's man.
Like I know
he's very efficient.
Like big man.
Yeah, he's very efficient right now.
The Clippers won him, but I don't know what they would be able to.
They don't have shit.
Yeah, to give to get him.
Like the one, like I'm looking at what happens with Kyle Lowry. Like that's the only deadline move that actually concerns me. Like if he goes to Philly, if he goes to Miami, like I'm much more terrified of those two teams with Kyle Lowry than I am currently. Because he fits very well with both, like with both of them. And it's like
style of play and everything.
Yeah, like just makes them tougher, makes them more stout defensively. Gives them a legitimate point guard that can like actually run offense and
freaking flop
set up. Because the thing is, like Miami's offense has been trash this year. So if they get somebody that kind of gets them in line and kind of set up easy buckets for Bam, can take some of the pressure off of Jimmy, like get shots for Hero and not have to like get 50 shots himself. Like that's perfect for them. Again, giving Philly a primary creator that isn't Ben Simmons that they can actually, so they aren't running like late game shit with through Joel Embiid, like terrifying. So please, Toronto, either hold on to him or send him west.
For the Bucks' sake. All right. Tim, I'm going to pass the mic over to you for some MLB stuff. And I'm very much looking forward to the story after we talk about this signing.
Okay. That's what we call a tease, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Well then, real quick. So the Cubs got a prospect, and he ended up. So his name is Jesus Camargo. So I don't know if you guys heard it in the news or not. So Jesus got pulled over, right? And they discovered 21 pounds of methamphetamine and 1.2 pounds of suspected oxycodone pills in a duffel bag with $1,000 cash, some cleats, and some gloves.
Moving weight.
Big weight.
And he had it in the bag with his cleats.
With his cleats and shit. So no, it ain't like, bro, you were on the Cubs. You're a prospect for the Cubs. Like,
that ain't me. I didn't do it.
I grabbed the wrong bag. This was somebody else's bag at the stadium.
But you also like people are, oh, well, why would he do something like that? Like he a prospect, things like that. But they still don't get paid shit until they get their first big contract. That's why arbitration is such a big deal for a lot of these young stars. And while Fernando Tatis Jr., he signed that contract that he did. Like, yeah, they got a steal for what his age is because they bought out his arbitration and things like that in essence. But yeah, you don't get that money until like your 5th, 6th, 7th year in the league. So a lot of times, yeah, they still doing things that they got to do to go ahead and try to make their money. And it sucks. It really does. But that's a lot, bro. You moving too much too fast.
That's a lot of weight.
Moving too much too fast. You probably you was driving too fast with that in your car.
He thought the cleats was going to hide it.
We was just playing baseball.
They can't see
white shit. That's the ball powder.
I say here, have some. Look,
that's right. We make them ourselves.
I make baseballs too. I make baseballs. Don't worry about that.
That's wild shit.
But yeah, that's wild. That's wild. That's big weight. Next story on the list here. So Texan star Deshaun Watson, he is now at the moment of this recording facing 12 sexual misconduct lawsuits. The NFL has opened up an investigation on him. And after the first 3 lawsuits came out, the lawyer representing the women in the case said that there would be more. He was not exaggerating, because he said that he was also talking to 10 additional women in addition to the 12 that had already come forward, which would bring the total to 22. Watson came out today, I believe, and pretty much denied the allegations, said that they have evidence to show that one of the allegations is false, and that it will help to disprove that the other lawsuits, or the other lawsuits, are also frivolous and baseless claims. At this point, I don't know enough about the story. I don't have any additional comments. I am just telling y'all what's happening at the moment. And the only comment on this story that I will have is that watching how other people comment on this story says a lot. A lot of y'all be telling on yourselves with a lot of different things, and y'all don't be like a lot of different things. And it reminds me of how reactions are when women make claims to different things. Like the women who are in the lawsuit will probably never see what you said, but there are going to be women on your timeline who might have been through something or who are going through something, and they now know that they can never come to you to talk about it because your actions have shown that you don't take it seriously. And again, at this point, it's just allegations. We don't know what's true. And I just think that everything doesn't necessarily need a comment. So just wait, see how this plays out a little bit more, and you go from there. Steve Kerr. There was a tweet apparently that came out that said that he enjoyed the 15-win season.
Yeah.
More than his last final season. With,
I can give a little context if you want. So he went on Real Ones, which is a podcast on the Ringer Network. Logan Murdoch, Roger Bell. They're having a conversation. Basically like checking in, like, how's it going? How was last year after coming off of the run that you had? And he's like, essentially like that. The first 4 years were pretty smooth. And they were enjoyable, but that last year just had a bunch of drama. It had it had the injuries. It had, it was just a tough year, and that he didn't enjoy coming to work. Like the team didn't have like the same type of chemistry. I'm paraphrasing, like I'm not quoting directly, but he was basically saying like it wasn't a great work environment that last year of the championship run. Mm-hmm. Going into the following year, last year, when basically everything fell apart. He was saying that was more enjoyable just because like the young guys that were there were hungry and they wanted to work, and like it was just a good vibe coming into the gym every day, even though like the losing sucked. Like he was saying, like it was more enjoyable, like from a coaching standpoint, like just to come to work every day. So then the guy tweets out, Steve Kerr says the 15-win team was more enjoyable than Kevin Durant's last year. He didn't not once mention Kevin Durant's name. So yeah, then he took offense to that and was like, you kind of phrased it in a way that wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see what the hoopla is about. All right. So.
Hoopla. Of course, KD comments.
Although it's like, okay, what made it so toxic that last year was probably KD. So it's like, the reporter was kind of reading between the lines, but he's like, I didn't say it. Like I didn't. Yeah. So it's probably wrong on both sides.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, the NFL is going to be welcoming fans back to the draft. The draft is going to take place April 29th to May 1st, and they're going to have a select number of prospects, fans, and media in attendance. They're going to be fans who are going to be designated as like club or draft ambassadors, and to be able to go, they have to be vaccinated and they have to wear masks. They're also going to have.
Speaking of traveling to get booed, like.
They're also going to be having additional prospects who aren't actually there. They're going to have like the virtual aspects of it from last year for those guys, which is kind of cool. I like the virtual look-ins. And they're going to have another draft-a-thon using this year's draft as a platform to provide relief to communities most affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. And they're also going to be promoting the vaccine. So NFL draft, people going to be there. You're going to hear some live boos.
That's gonna be a good time for those people though. Like honestly, like you could knock it off your bucket list. Hey, I went to the NFL draft.
Again, when that draft comes to Green Bay, I'll be there. Just to say I went to the NFL draft. I just want to be able to be like, as you mentioned, off the bucket list.
I think they said that. Didn't they say recently they're trying to get it?
That's why I brought it up. Yeah, they've been trying for a while. They just ain't been able to get it. That's part of why they built Titletown, because they want to be able to offer more than just being like it's a stadium in a neighborhood. You can go to BW3s around the corner. That's all we got. Chris Paul became the 6th player in NBA history with 10,000 career assists. So shout out to the point god, Chris Paul.
They said that if he keeps his current rate, that he'll jump over number 5. I think
he's done like 100 back. So
yeah,
probably sometime this season.
I still don't think he's gonna catch John Stockton. Though.
Oh no, not a chance.
Some of these records,
but that's also because like the scorekeeper in Utah was spamming assists for years.
I mean, yeah, but
he had 30 assists that game.
But look,
back to back.
Assists, things they call assists now wouldn't have been called assists in the 90s. There's it goes both ways a little bit. Like they're a little bit more lenient now with what they call an assist than what they were back then. So like even if Utah was flubbing it, given the way they do it now, it's about even at this point. That man almost had 16,000 assists by himself. Like that's wow. Shout out to Chris Paul. That's something. Washington football team president Jason Wright announced that Washington football team is under consideration for the permanent name, citing fan sentiment.
Redneck Shaq.
Who told him to do that?
Redneck Shaq.
Who said it?
We've been saying that for years before y'all did that. Redneck Shaq.
Like it's simple, it's easy. Y'all got the shit off. The uniforms looked clean. It was acceptable.
Right. And at this point, it's unique. Like nobody else is being like, we're the Washington. Yo, what's your team? The Washington football team. Like let's just go. Like
yeah.
Don't take D, bro. Like Ohio State already got that. Don't do that.
I mean, if they ask you who's your favorite football team, you're gonna say the Green Bay Packers. You're gonna say the Chicago Bears. You're gonna say the Washington
don't take
football
the.
Team. I'm just saying that's why
I'm saying don't trademark they the. That's
it. Man, they don't get no trademark on no goddamn D. Like it's a fucking article.
Ohio
like
State. Everybody know when you say the.
The most common word in the English damn dictionary. Like no, fuck you, Ohio State.
Y'all ain't getting that.
These nuts, nigga.
I mean, like about the University of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, like nobody else gets to use of. Like what? Like no, fuck out of here.
Nah, that was stupid when they tried it. It's stupid now.
That damn lawsuit.
Washington, keep Washington football team as your name. We just gonna ask for a small percentage off of future.
I mean, not that small.
I mean, we do got to cut it 4 ways, so
yeah.
Small individually, but collectively, substantial. WWE Fastlane took place this past weekend. Any of y'all watch?
Nope.
I did.
I did
as well.
Boo boo. It was a trash pay-per-view. I'm glad I slept through the first part.
It was garbage. Garbage.
Man. It wasn't that exciting this time around. Like
Fastlane's never really that good.
Because they set up for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It's a filler pay-per-view. I wonder sometimes like what's the point of even having, especially like in this economic environment. Like what was the point?
Get people to subscribe to Peacock.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like they forced you to subscribe to Peacock. Like no, we know we said we was gonna kind of phase the network out. It's done tomorrow, bro. Like
they killed it.
Yeah,
killed it dead.
Damn.
Yeah, it's dead in the U.S. There's no more WWE.
I didn't even know they did it already. Yeah.
Just killed it dead.
It's gone.
Like they was moving dates fast as a motherfucker. Next thing you know, it was tomorrow.
And Peacock ain't got the same functionality that the network had, so
they ain't got the years lined up like they were supposed to, like how WWE Network had. So now they got to redo it.
It's worse than what WWE Network was when it first released, upon how things are organized and the ease of it. At least stuff plays, it plays well.
It plays straight through. No glitching.
Can you still skip and all that? Like skip actions?
No.
You cannot rewind in a live event no more.
Man, what the fuck?
So
it's
kind of trash.
Y'all need to fix that, yo.
It's kind of trash.
Vince is like, just give me the money.
I don't care what you do once you get it.
What's y'all formula? You ain't get that. Give me the money. But no, it was I do like the setup for the first. I was saying nah, but then as the night went on, I was like, you know what? I'm cool with a triple threat match between Edge, Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah, I want that.
I would love to see that. That being set up was great. Rhea Ripley's now set up for Asuka at WrestleMania because
Charlotte Flair got COVID. Although some thought it was because of Andrade, her boyfriend, who got his release.
Mm-hmm. I already got a new gimmick and everything.
It would have been interesting if the reason that she wasn't on TV wasn't because of COVID, but rather because of what was going on with her boo. Because let me tell you, when AEW was talking about getting a star, Charlotte Flair is one you would like to get. Like, now that's a star. Now that's somebody who can change the fortunes a little bit at a
like short of Roman Reigns, like I feel like that is like of current wrestlers, like I feel like Charlotte is the one where it's like, damn, they took her. Like, like even more than Sasha, even more than Becky at this point, like she number 2, because it just seems like she's set up to be like a lifer in WWE. So if they can steal Ric Flair's daughter and build a women's division around her, like that would be
Flair, man.
Oof. That would be so crazy. Charlotte Flair and AEW.
She's grown on me. I was like, oh, she's
cold, bro.
Yeah,
she's cold.
She is, huh?
So you didn't like Charlotte Flair at first?
Not when she first started coming. Well, when I first got back into watching wrestling, I was like, I don't really feel her like that. But then as I started watching her more, I was like, damn, she cold, yo.
And her and Sasha had some crazy matches. Crazy matches, man. But
some good times there. But that being said, that stops the topic discussion. I had to blow the whistle. I'm gonna just skip that. We can go right into the Tech Top 5 for the last week's Tech Top 5. It got the people going a little bit. It was about Marvel, the best Marvel villains. Now, this was one where it was almost a 3-way tie between myself, Ken, and Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Cap was right.
No, he wasn't.
He was not.
And everybody who was talking about, well, maybe Tony Stark shit. No, that's not how this worked.
Killed that.
He sold out to the government.
They blew up a whole damn.
The villain of the movie was Baron Zemo. It was not Tony Stark or Cap. Like, it was not.
City, bro.
It was not.
It was an accident. They were having
I'm flying through your crib. I'm blowing your shit up. I'm saving you here. Dun. I'm here for you. If they had been on the government contract, the government would have been part of having to pay for them houses and shit. But you know, let them go ahead and throw your car. You just got done playing payments on the shit. Blow up your damn house.
But
you ain't got superhero insurance.
They do be fucking shit up.
They really do.
Hey man, Tony Stark rich as fuck. Like I'm just sue him.
It was almost a 3-way tie, but ended up being another 2-way tie between myself and Tim.
Hey,
Ken, you was close. You was one off from tying with us, but
that's all good. Congratulations. I'll get them next week.
This week's, since it's the NBA trade deadline coming up, we're just gonna do the biggest NBA trade deadline deals. So nothing that took place in the off season, it had to be, during the season. So Tim, what you got?
My list is a little bit all over the place, but it's kind of for me.
I still got like 9 things listed on mine. I got to pare mine down.
For me, it was more so like the way I felt about the trade. So that's why I've got it the way I got it. So number 5 is Carmelo to the Knicks in 2011. It was a big deal to me because I'm like, damn, he really he going for the Nuggets now? Like no more Melo in Denver. Like it was kind of like damn, that was I was a big Carmelo fan. I felt like
you're of a certain age, that Denver Melo jersey, is special.
Like I thought he should have won Rookie of the Year. I know this, but I felt like Melo had the better rookie year that year between him and Bron. Like I was a Melo fan, like a big Melo fan. So
Melo been a dude.
Him getting traded to New York, I was like, holy shit, no more Denver, huh? Like just like that. And Iggy
was going to the Mecca.
Number 4, I got the DeMarcus Cousins trade. They traded that man in the damn All-Star game. Like, come on. Mid-interview. Mid-interview. Hey,
he didn't even know that. Like, hey, bro, you got.
He ain't finished his damn interview. Hey.
Like, hey, you can cancel your flight home since you're already in New Orleans.
Like what?
Like what you mean?
Like just stay here, bro. Just go. We got you. Just stay here. You'll be sleeping at the stadium for the night, but we'll figure this all out.
Sleep at the stadium, bro.
And we seen you, so we said you had to stay. We seen what you did in the game. We couldn't help it. You got to stay here with us. But again, everybody was like, "You traded that man mid game during the All-Star game?" Like, and the way he found out, like, That was big. Number 3, another big fan of the Detroit Pistons team that won the NBA championship. But Rasheed Wallace being traded to the Pistons, number 3, was a big catalyst for them because Rasheed was.
I just be hating on that team.
That pissed me off, dog.
Rasheed was doing it.
Hey, that was like that piece that took he was that missing piece.
He had the edge, he had the attitude, he had the scoring, he had the defense. Like Rasheed Wallace was the glue, the crazy glue.
Team, I hate that fucking team.
Man,
to this day, I hate Ben Wallace.
That was one of my favorite teams of all time, dog. Him coming up them screens was unstoppable. Unstoppable. And put a mask on him. Look like the clear Phantom of the Opera. Like, bro, yeah, that team was nice. Ben Wallace, yeah. Anyways, number 2, Paul Gasol getting traded to the Lakers. Talking about another missing piece. that led to them getting another title.
Indeed.
Everybody was pissed about that trade too, but it is what it is. Like, again, it was huge for them because, again, Paul Gasol became a catalyst for how many give with y'all 2?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
got 2 with us.
Kobe needed another partner.
I raised the roof to that.
I got one. And number 1, because it's the biggest heartbreak in Milwaukee history, is Ray Allen getting traded to the Seattle SuperSonics for Gary Payton and the Cowboy Desmond Mason. They really tried to geek us up about Desmond Mason. Man, he dunk all over the place. Ray Allen dropped 35 last night. Man, he athletic as shit. Ray Allen dropped 45 last night. Him and Rashard Lewis is lighting up. I mean, like a Christmas tree in Seattle.
I will never, ever forgive George Karl for that. It's all his fault. I will never forgive him for that. And that's
you sound like you want to spit on his grave or something.
Look, if I see George Karl, like I'd probably just stare at him for a while and just be like,
he killed our franchise for years. We had a squad. I blew it up.
And then he wasn't even around. Like,
then he left. I can't deal with this. I don't have a team. I don't have anybody to coach. You traded them. You traded the whole squad. Eastern Conference Final squad that got screwed, by the way. But Eastern Conference Final squad blew it up the next year. That franchise just now recovering 2 years ago.
Okay, it wasn't no 2 years ago, but I
when was the last time we was in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Last time we won a playoff
don't mean
the last year we had that squad. 2 years ago was when we finally recovered. Like, damn.
We recovered in my head the moment we drafted Giannis. Like, that's when the franchise fortunes changed.
Fear the deer year. Like, I think
that's even that's fair. That's fair. Fear the deer.
Yeah, I'm changing mine up a little bit because I totally forgot about Sheed to Detroit. So my honorable mention is Jason Kidd getting traded to Phoenix. I only wanted to mention it just because they had to blow up the team over Tony Braxton. Like,
dog.
You traded a recent Rookie of the Year, future Hall of Famer, one of the best point guards of all time because he was fighting with a teammate over a girl.
Hey, D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
But that was, you got rid of, well, I guess they got rid of D'Angelo Russell for that.
Over a girl?
He ain't a Hall of Famer. So 5, I'm going to put Sheed to Detroit. 4, Melo to New York, which still doesn't make any sense because he could have just signed with them in the offseason and then they wouldn't have to give up half their team.
He could have went to Miami.
But he wanted to get every cent that he could get, which, I mean, I guess I don't blame him, but he definitely, short-circuited, or he lowered the ceiling of that team because he was impatient. So that was 4. 3, Ray Allen to Seattle for the regions that you mentioned. Like, they brought back old-ass Gary Payton, who they kept for 3 months, and then...
He bounced so damn fast.
Yeah. So you traded a mid-20s all-star for 3 months of a guy that didn't want to be here and then left for nothing.
I mean, at that point, George Karl. Superstar. Honestly, Jesus Shuttlesworth was huge.
On site. Man, listen, George Karl just... Let's move on.
Yeah. So this portion of my list is because they led to championships, possibly. So my number 2 could be number 1, depending on how this year ends. But James Harden to Brooklyn. Like, that's a former MVP getting traded in the middle of the season to a team that already had a former MVP and Kyrie Irving. Like,
does that count?
Was it not in season?
Didn't we say trade deadline?
Yeah, by the trade deadline in season.
In season.
Okay.
It ain't like it happened in July.
I thought we were talking trade deadline day deals.
I mean, technically, the LaMelo trade didn't happen on trade deadline day.
I guess you're right.
And number was Paul Gasol to the Lakers. That made them a 2-time champion, like almost immediately. Actually, it was immediately.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And it turns out like they traded a future defensive player of the year and perennial all-star to get him.
Brought him
at
back.
the time, it looked like it was a highway rivalry. Huh?
They brought him up. Yeah, they brought him back. Marcus all back in the Lakers.
Oh, now.
They brought him back. We gonna finish it out at the Lakers.
Oh, Stephen, we were all like,
because they got Gasol got traded for Gasol.
No, we got it.
We know. We caught up.
Other context for other folk.
We caught up.
Yeah,
okay.
That's my list.
So my honorable mention is going to be the Clippers trading Blake Griffin months after they put all that whole spiel together about him being a Clipper forever.
Bogus.
That one super,
but
bogus.
Also understandable.
But it was just shocking. So my list is based on like my personal levels of being like, wait, what just happened? Y'all just did what to who to where? Why? So my number 5 is going to be Melo to the Knicks. We already have discussed that. My number 4 is going to be DeMarcus Cousins to the Pelicans, because that's Tim mentioned legit during All-Star. Like the game, it just finished up and we getting trade details. Number 3, I'm going with Deron Williams getting traded to the Nets in 2011, because at that time it was like
shock.
It was pure shock. And also I think, well, we don't know how Williams' career has panned out. Like it completely just fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
But when he was traded, he was arguably the best point guard in the league. Deron was like cold. And he went to the Nets and it was just like, wait, what? Are you serious?
Who they still had at the time, though?
Who? The Nets?
The Nets. I know they had Ice on Joe still, didn't they?
No, they didn't get him until later.
I'll look it up.
Like, Darren Williams was the first guy they brought in.
That was that was in 2011. Mm-hmm. Number 2, we got Ray Allen to the Sonics. I don't need to go there no more. We have been there. F. George Karl. And number 1, I got Chris Paul to the Clippers, in large part because we thought he was going to the Lakers.
Don't even get me started on that shit.
That was
yeah, wasn't that in the season?
No, because it was the lockout year, so it hadn't started yet. Like it was in December, but it was the lockout.
Shoot. Well, in that case, dang, move that off then. And
just
then
move everything up.
Yeah, move everything up. I definitely thought that happened during the season, but that's
no, it just happened so late in the calendar because they were coming off the lockout.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so at 5, then we got Blake going to Detroit. 4, we got DeMarcus going to the Pelicans. Yeah. 5, Blake to Detroit. 4, Carmelo to the Knicks. 3, DeMarcus to the Pelicans. 2, Ray Allen to the Sonics. Wait, no, I'm all off. I don't even know. Hold on. Ken, you go. I need to reorder my list. I'm confused now.
All right. So at 5, I had Ray Allen going to the Supersonics. DeMarcus Cousins going to the Pelicans. Rasheed Wallace going to Detroit. Powell going to the Lakers. And Melo going to the Knicks is number 1.
Okay.
Melo was gonna be he was supposed to be the savior.
Again, he gutted his team before he got there. Couldn't save
him. Yeah. All right. So
and just to clean up something from earlier, Steph is going to be reevaluated in a week, so he'll miss at least the next 3 games.
Okay.
Okay.
So just to go back over, because now I got my numbers back in place. Number 5, Blake to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Carmelo to the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, DeMarcus to the Pelicans.
Okay.
Number 2, D. Will to the Nets, and then number 1, Ray Allen to the Sonics.
Sure.
Although I'm looking at it, I think I might want to actually flip Williams and Ray. So I'm gonna actually flip that. So I'm gonna put Ray at 2 and D Will at 1 because thinking about it again, I knew he had problems with his coach with Sloan, but I still didn't expect him to get moved.
Definitely.
And there you have it. It like what? So there you have it. That's top 5 for the week. That's the show. We hope y'all enjoyed. As a reminder, make sure that you rate, subscribe, review, do all that good stuff that helps the show, all the free ways to support the pod. We really appreciate it. We do not grow without y'all word of mouth. So just keep telling the people, keep telling them the good news about Tech File. Keep on keeping on. If you want to follow me on social media, you can catch me.
Wait a minute.
On the Twitter and Instagram at Camille Monet, CAMILLEMONAE, because
your mom is fancy.
Thank you, good sir.
At Bucks Murray on Twitter.
That's all you get.
Goddamn right.
Everyday_gentleman on Instagram, K Harris 216 on Twitter and Snapchat.
And it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ass Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. We will see y'all next week. You'll hear us next week, but we'll see y'all next week somehow, some way, some form. We'll see the numbers. There we go. That's how we see y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
He's talking himself into trying to make sense, fam.